Simple, asked to go, left, you know the drill. I'd come back to my water bottle smashed on the floor. I was one of those people, I'm not going to name names, decided they wanted to be pathetic and be petty and drop my shit on the floor. I'm like, bitch, you didn't pay for it.
Baby, I'm the girl, the girl on fire.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a different video. I've been wanting to talk about this topic for a long time. And I'm finally at the point in my life where I'm like, I can talk about the past and it not affect me anymore. So yeah, if you're not seen by the title, yes, I was bullied. Okay, so the bullying started when I was in secondary school, as bullying does for almost everyone, right? For my whole secondary school life, I was practically bullied every single year. Most of the early years I tend to forget because of how long ago it was and my memory isn't fully there. And I would say I was bullied more so from year 9 upwards. In my senior year, which if you don't know is year 11 in the UK, my year 11 year was nowhere near as bad as previous years. It was actually the only year I felt like I continued to be I could be who I was and I'd be okay. But I was bullied by multiple students. Like, I was bullied by groups and groups of students. It was just kids deciding they wanted to pick on the girl that looked different. All the people that bullied me were stereotypical brunette and blonde. They were what you call typical looks in a way. They didn't really, it's not sound bad, but they didn't really look that different. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's like a blueprint where it's like blonde girl with blue eyes, blonde girl with blue, same thing. Brunette girl with brown eyes, onwards. And me being one of the only few redheads in my year made me stand out like a sore thumb. And when I was younger, I was, let's just put it as, bigger than most students. Most of the students in my year was all smaller than me, height and weight, and you best believe that made me feel like a piece of crap. I hated the way I looked when I was younger. No matter what anyone told me, I hated myself. I could never ever, past me, could never see myself the way I currently see myself. I am able to grow and learn from different things, and I have learnt to love certain parts about myself. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, yes, I still have insecure days where I'm like, ugh, I hate this about myself, or ugh, I just wish it'd go away. Yes, I still 100% get those days. Everybody does. No one is perfect. But in this specific situation, when I was younger, growing up around, imagine having all of your best friends being twice the height of all of your best friends and almost the same height or taller than all the guys you knew. Imagine that. If it wasn't because I had bright blue eyes and red hair, if I didn't stand out enough because of that, I definitely stood out because I was almost a foot taller than half of the kids around me. So I do think that was another reason why I was stereotypically bullied, because I looked different, because I wasn't the same as everybody else. I grew and I progressed bodily wise faster than most of the girls my age. I was mentally older than they were. I progressed further. But that obviously then being, if you didn't know, I have autism. Only mild autism. And how I have had that, I have had mild autism. I'd say I don't think I was ever fully diagnosed till my later part of my life, when I was older and it was, I guess, less known in girls my age, because they say girls of my age bracket, if they gain like certain disabilities, whether they're mental or physical, they're not always seen as quick as they are in men. Quick break, it's really hot in here. Okay, we're back. At 10 facts, really hot. But all the girls around my age were smaller than me. They were all smaller than me. What was I talking about? Oh, yes, autism. I wasn't diagnosed with autism till a really late age, but I was diagnosed with dyslexia when I would say I was in year 7 and year 8. I was diagnosed quite quickly with dyslexia, which was really good, because it's typically harder to pick up on autism and dyslexia in older females. It is typically harder to pick up, unless obviously it's severe, then you can tell. But because I am mildly autistic, which I know I'm going to get hate comments and people are going to say, oh, you're not bullying me online for it. I generally don't care. Like, you probably, if you are a true fan of mine, you won't care that I have slight autism and that I'm dyslexic. Like, not one of you would care. But obviously, I know for a fact me talking about this might bring people to start wanting to make fun of me, or just, be a bitch. And I can take that. Let's be real, I've been picked on since I was a child. Nothing new here. But yeah, so having all these problems stacked up against me was making me a very good target for bullying. So I'd say that there's a certain bully story and little situations that stand out most to me, and those are the ones I'll be talking about today. So my early parts of secondary school I wasn't really bullied as such. It'd just be, I'd be walking around the college and me being heavily self-conscious, just thinking kids around me like, oh, they're looking at me funny, when honey, they probably was not. But first time I'd say I got seriously bullied was in year 9, which is, if you don't know, my 3rd year of secondary school. And that's when, puberty, or everyone's getting these hormones, everyone's getting these puberty, people are starting to grow, starting to become women, men, like, whoever they are starting to become their person. And obviously, in some people's mind, or in some cases, they get that confused and that turns into anger. They start getting insecure about their own problems and that turns into anger. And obviously, me being the big, bright, red-headed girl, only one in the year, put a target on my back. And I knew this. I'll be honest, I was slightly oblivious, but I knew this. So I had snarky comments here and there from loads of girls. It's whatever. One of my very first like serious bullying stages. And if you are the people who bullied me in secondary school and you're watching this video and you're like, oh, don't out me, I don't care. I'm not going to be using names, but you know who you are. I've not forgotten you, okay? So my very first, I think the one that sticks to me the most was when I was in French class. I had to take French as a class. It was something I had to take. I couldn't drop it. So I was in French. And a specific day, I don't know, it was in the air. People were just being extra bitchy that day. I'd gotten up to leave the classroom just to go to the bathroom and then come back. Quick, simple, asked to go, left, you know the drill. I'd come back to my water bottle smashed on the floor. Why was it on the floor? I had no clue. I'd walked in and my whole water, my whole bottle that big was on the floor, smashed into pieces. Bitch, we were on carpet. How the shit did that happen? It had to be thrown really hard for that bottle to break. Or it had to have bounced off of the table end to have broken how it broke. And that was no way possible accident. It would have just tumbled and just landed on the floor normally. That was deliberately hand smashed. Deliberately, hand to the bottle, smashed against the table. So I had no clue who it was. But there were certain people sitting around me who had been making snarky comments to me the whole lesson. So I was like, yes, I know you did it. I'm not going to say anything because I'm not a little bitch, okay? I'm not pathetic. I'm just going to sit there and move on. This is at the point where I wouldn't say shit to no one. You pick on me now, bitch. I'm telling you how I feel. I don't care. You hate me, I hate you too. But back then, I would never, ever say anything to anyone. I would never be like, oh my god, I hated confrontation when I was younger. I hated confrontation. Now I'm speaking my speech. It was clear as day that was chopped, smashed and broken. That was my water bottle. I now had no more water for the rest of the day. And it wasn't even lunchtime yet and I had no drink to drink. And I had no money to go and buy myself a drink. So if I was thirsty the rest of that day, bitch, I wasn't drinking. I was gonna die of thirst. All because one of those people, I'm not going to name names, decided they wanted to be pathetic and be petty and drop my shit on the floor. I'm like, bitch, you didn't pay for it. Why are you dropping my shit? You didn't pay for it. Actually, no, I didn't pay for it. That was paid for by my mother. She bought it for me for the start of the year so I could have a drink bottle for the whole year. And that money that bottle costed, yeah, no, probably not much. But that was my property and it was broken by another student. Ooh, after that day, French just pissed me off. Anytime I happened to have French, it pissed me right off. Pissed me right off. So that was just one incident. Another incident was when I had a falling out with one of my friends. She was a mega bitch. I don't know where any of this came from. She just decided she did not want to be my friend anymore and that she didn't like me. So after I had backed up that woman in every single fight she was in, she was bullied by a bunch of girls, I stuck up for her and then she was a bitch to me a few years later. Like, are you kidding me? I still hate that bitch to this day. I still hate her. Like, no. And she turned my other friend against me. And now me and that girl aren't friends. And then that friend turned my best friend of God knows how many years against me. So that whole squad out the window. Petty little bitch. But this next situation boiled my boat. It boiled me. Okay, I was sitting in English, just minding my own business. I don't even know how the argument started. This was after I had the argument with the ex-best friend. She was sitting there, instigating the whole argument. I was sitting there, and she couldn't stop staring at me. So I was like, what are you staring at? And then she tutted at me. I was like, whatever. But the girl next to her, who was a loudmouth, she started going off on me for no reason. Like, she was literally just having a go at me, like throwing accusations at me, throwing me names to me. This whole time, every single student in that class, because they were shit scared of that girl, decided they wanted to bully me. Every single student in that room bullied me. All at once. It was me against everybody else. I felt so alone in that class, I didn't want to go back. But of course, I did. I was bullied so heavily in that class, it's unreal. But the main thing that ticked me off was that we didn't have my normal teacher. My normal teacher actually liked me. My substitute teacher, who I had that lesson, did okay? Did he stood there looking me in the eyes and did nothing. He watched me get verbally assaulted by every single student in that classroom and did not give two shades of shit. You are supposed to be a teacher. You're supposed to support your students. You're supposed to look out for students. You see a problem, you fix it, you wimp. Don't just stand there and watch it because you're enabling that to carry on going. You could have nipped it in the bud right when it started, but no. Don't lose your job. Oh, I don't give a shit. Never. Oh, that teacher. I remember he looks like, but he was clearly not worth. He clearly was not meant for that job. Yeah. Every single any person I looked at, dirty ass look. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do in this situation. I am stuck. I am left to deal with it all on my own. And this boy that was in my class, a few years later, said he loved me. Said he had a crush on me for the longest time. But he enabled the argument. He was joining in. And he kept coming up behind me, trying to pull my chair up from underneath me. Yes, I was dumb and stupid and I dated him twice, but I'm never fucking going down that stage again. And he still watches my shit. Says much. Anyway, he kept pulling my chair out from underneath me. Just kept trying to get me to hit the head against the floor. I grabbed onto that chair like I was holding on for my dear life, man. I was holding on for my dear life. The boy was 6'2", and I was 5'6". And he was lanky as shit. I could take him in a fight, no one's problem. I don't promote violence. I do not promote violence, just so you know. But yeah, the audacity of pulling out my chair to injure me. And then a few years later, confessed to me he loved me the whole time. Clearly loony. Clearly ain't got a brain. He can't do shit for himself now. But, yeah. Those were the two main situations that stuck out most to me. And I've not forgotten those days and those people. Thank you very much, but you picked on the wrong bitch. You picked on the wrong bitch. So, lesson learned. Don't trust anyone because everyone is a snake. But yeah, those are my like main stories that I can really remember. My year 11 year, as I said, was fine. I wasn't bullied as much. I had these like pathetic group of boys trying to figure out who I fancied. It's just teen boy drama, who gives a shit. I was the only girl in the classroom. Let me tell you this story, guys. In year 11, my senior year, there was me and one other girl in the classroom. Me and one other girl. The rest were all boys. Hormonal, testosterone flowing boys. And I was just goddamn, I was so goddamn lucky that I wasn't the one they decided they hated. They hated her. They hated her with all their passion. They hated her. So anytime it came down to picking people in teams, they picked me, but because me and her were friends and there was no other female in the class, she latched herself to me, as anyone would do. If all the boys around you are bullying you and there's only one girl in the room that actually understands this, the only other girl there who isn't bullying you, you're going to want to be that girl's friend. You're going to want to hang out with her. Normal. I was fine. She was friendly to me. We're all good. But because she linked herself to me, anyone who wanted to work with me then had to work with her. There was only one other situation where we had to do like a group task, I think it was, and me and her we were put in separate groups. She was miffed so she wasn't with me. I could hear in her group they're just having a go at her, just yelling at the poor girl, and I'm like, okay, I'm staying out of it because I ain't getting me head chopped off. Yeah, I stayed out of that whole class's argument, like her situation and the boy's situation. I stayed out of it. I was like, I ain't got to deal with any more crap. I dealt with it 2 years prior, I'm not doing it. So I just sat back and said nothing. Sat back and did nothing. Obviously, when it was just me and her having a private conversation, obviously I double checked on her to make sure she was okay, but I didn't really go like, oh, I didn't go up to the boys and like, what the heck are you doing? Leave my friend. And I wasn't going to put myself in that situation to have the boys getting up against me. You're having a laugh. One of them I actually was still friends with until this day. I say, bitch. Yeah, me and him aren't friends no more. That's a whole different story. But yeah, those are my secondary school stories. I do have other bullied stories, some from college. If you'd like to hear those, just put in the comments more story times and I'll do them, because it's the way for us we get to know it with vibe. So yeah guys, that's all for today's video. Make sure you click that like button if you enjoyed this different style of YouTube video. Make sure you click that subscribe button so you can be part of the family, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a brand new YouTube video. All my social media are in the description box below. You can follow me as you outside of YouTube when I'm not filming or editing a brand new YouTube video. And yeah, please let me know if you enjoyed this style of video, because I got personal with you guys. I opened up to you guys. And also, if you feel comfortable, please let me know in the comments if you've ever been bullied and how you managed to come over it. If you haven't come over your bullying, I'm so sorry. I promise you will. Eventually, it took me a few years and I'm fine now, but promise me you will get through it. If you're being currently bullied, listen to me. I face to face. Face to face. Just know you are going to get through this. Just know that person clearly has nothing else better to do in their life than pick on you. Just remember, you must be doing something right, because if you're not being bullied, then you're not really a person, now are you? Everyone gets bullied. It is normal. Just know you are amazing. You are perfect. and do not change for anyone. Okay? So, hey guys, I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!